What's going on, guys? VinVin520 here, coming at you again with another Gears of War commentary. This time on the map Rig. This is another Master at Arms gameplay. This was actually the first Master at Arms game that I actually played when this event came out. So I was, befuddled with this whole entire mode the first time playing it. But that's not what I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to talk about today was my recent run-ins with law enforcement. So, I'm not a bad kid by any means, at least I like to think I'm not a bad kid. I mean, I don't do bad things on a regular basis. I mean, I've smoked marijuana twice, I think, my whole life. But it's not something that I do normally, not something that I just go and do for fun. Alright, so let me start the story. So, about a couple of weeks ago, my cousin was having a party that was specifically meant for all the cousins of the family to come, hang out, catch up, and stuff like that. And that's not something that we normally do in our family. So it was kind of cool that he did that. And he also wanted to announce the fact that him and his girlfriend were going to get married. Me and my brother were already tipped off to this information from some other source, but that's mainly what the idea was. It was a cousin's party, and, he wanted to tell everybody that he was proposing. And before me and my brother went to this party, we had to go pick up another cousin of ours, okay? And we thought that there was going to be two of said cousins because, they live together. And when we asked our cousin, where is the other one, she said she's at work right now. And we were like, oh, all right, fine. When does she get out? She says 11 o'clock. And we're like, okay, well, that's fine. We'll go get her at 11 o'clock. That's no problem. She says, all right, that's fine. So we go to the party, we hang out, we're mingling, talking to our cousins and everything. I mean, it's kind of weird because I'm only 18, my brother's only like 21, and the rest of our cousins are like 30s and 40s and stuff like that. And they were drinking, and that's just, again, something that I don't do. I don't drink, I don't like alcohol, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we were just hanging out, eating food, blah, blah, blah. Time comes when I have to go get my cousin, all right? So we go get her from her job, it's on Forest Avenue in whatever. I live in Staten Island, so if you live on Staten Island, you know where Forest Avenue is. I get her from her job, and she's like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. So I'm like, oh, okay, you want to go get something to eat? That's fine. She's like, oh, yeah, I am hungry. Let's go to McDonald's. I'm like, all right, that's completely fine. That's fine. So we go to McDonald's, and she gets she gets 2 cheeseburgers with no pickles and onions, okay? And I got a milkshake just because I was like, we're out, fuck it, I'll get something. So while we're there, I tell her to look in her bag, make sure everything is there. She says everything is there. We start driving away. She starts eating her burgers, and guess what? The lady didn't listen. She gave her the onions and the pickles, which she didn't want. So my cousin takes out a napkin, and she wants to wipe off the shit that was on the burger. And so she does, and then she's like, could I throw this out the window? She's like, are there cops around? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's fine, there ain't no problem with that. She's like, nah, but you gotta be careful. She's like, the cops will be undercover out here sometimes. And I'm like, well, it'll be fine, there's no undercover cops right here, no. So she throws out the fucking paper towel, and guess what happens? There were undercover cops right behind us. Right behind us. Literally the second she threw it out. I saw the lights turn on in the car behind me, and then I just immediately thought to myself, well, fuck. I guess this is what I get for making this friggin' decision. So this has never happened to me before. I've never been stopped by a cop except one other time in my life when I was like 14 years old. And that was because I threw a glass bottle at somebody trying to have fun. It was stupid. And by the end of that engagement, I vomited. So, yeah, maybe that's another story for a later time, but either way, let's just continue. So the cop pulls me over, he steps to the car, and he's like, sir, can I see your license and registration? I'm able to give him the license, but I'm a relatively new driver, so I had no idea what my registration looked like. All I knew was that it was in my glove compartment somewhere, but I had no idea where exactly. But I have all of this shit in my glove compartment that I have no idea why it's there, for what reason, and I can't for the life of me find it. So I like hand him this thing, and he's like, sir, I'm not going to look for it for you. I'm like, well, can you help me at least? I mean, can you tell me what it looks like? He's like, oh yeah, it's a little yellow slip. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good to know, I guess. And, what do you call it? I give him the license and registration. We end up sitting there for like 30 minutes just waiting. And then he didn't even give me a ticket. He came back and he's like, "Oh, sir, you're gonna have to go to court on the date specified, blah blah blah." He's like, "You can go before or after the date, blah blah blah." And I'm reading the ticket that he, well, it wasn't a ticket, it's a summons, but I'm reading it, and then it says to come on the date if you, I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now, but either way, he gave me a summons, and he made us wait that long just to give me a summons, and I don't even know if I'm going to get a ticket yet. And if I do get the ticket, I know my cousin is going to pay for it. She's hopefully good like that. But either way, that's the end of this commentary, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want me to tell a couple more stories like this, because I have about 2 more, I will. And have a nice day, guys. Peace!